Welcome in, guys, if you're watching this part. Of the video you're catching me on replay. We are waiting for Miss Amy to get finished. She was up before me. Up after me will be Miss Stephanie, and I am in an event today, so let me find myself and get myself shared to a few places while we wait. Again, if you guys are hopping on, just say hi so I know that you're here, that you've made it. I did have my green, I had a green tank top on today for St. Patrick's Day, but y'all, it got cold, okay? Soon as that sun started to drop, it got cold. And so, I had to pop my sweater back on. It is what it is. What can I tell you? But while we wait for everyone to come on, I am going to start by trimming some paper. Try to get maybe some of that boring part away. And we shall see. We shall see, we shall see. I never trust things to print right exactly the way they're supposed to. So, we're going to cut page by page, which will just make it a lot easier. And like I said, we're just waiting for Miss Amy from Crafts by Amy to finish up. And we are in the Dusty Granny event group. Today is her journaling event group. And our theme for today, hey there Miss Carla, our theme for today is our favorite journaling style. So before I even start, let's get a poll going and let's see, what does everybody think my favorite style is? Hello there, Miss Mary. Hello there, Miss Tracy. Oh, thank you for sharing me, my friend. I appreciate that very, very much. So, thank you so, so much. So, if you have been here before and you have watched me, what do you think my favorite journaling style is? Thank you, Miss Wendy. I appreciate that. I'm just cutting paper while we talk about what people think my favorite journaling style is. Before I turn the camera down and you see, and then obviously it's kind of gonna be self-evident. So I'm curious if anybody can or wants to even try to guess, what do you think my favorite journaling style is? Hey there, Miss Amy. Your journal was super cute, sweet friend. Lots of nice bright colors. I do like dark, and I do like steampunk. Yes, ma'am. Hola, Rosa. Bendiciones. So, okay. Anybody else want to take a gander at what my favorite journaling style might be? No, I didn't print this one right. Dang it. Hello, Miss Kimberly. Welcome in. So today we are in an event hosted by Miss Wendy from Dusty Granny Events. And it's her journaling event. And we're supposed to journal our favorite style. So I am asking, if you've been here before, what do you think would be my favorite style? if you could take a guess. Vintage? I mean, vintage is not bad. It's not my favorite, but it's not bad. I do tend to do it a bit, that's for sure. Miss Krista says vintage as well. Miss Kimberly says steampunk. Okay, so that's 2 for vintage, 2 for steampunk, because Miss Carla said steampunk and dark. So, let me finish this last thing, and I'll turn my camera down, and you can see what it is that I'm trimming up. And of course, that is going to be the tell-all of what it is. I love altered books. You are so right about that. I do. So, if I had to choose, I prefer to alter a book over building a new album. So Miss Amy is right about that. But as far as style go, give me the dark, give me the steampunk. That is what I like. I do like miniatures. I do love miniatures. This is true. Not so much for my journaling, but I do love miniatures. I do make small stuff. It tends to mess with my hands sometimes, but I do love working with the miniatures. Hello there, Miss Cruz. Welcome in, friend. Welcome in. Saturday, because I was saying Saturday earlier to Miss Carla. This Tuesday afternoon going into an evening, I am going to be putting in my signature into the journal that Miss Teresa sent me and that I got started for the mystery box event that was a collaboration with Miss Wendy and Miss Amy, who's here as well. So we are going to be finishing, or at least getting a good bit of that book done. Now these printables here are ones that I had in my desk top. Don't ask me where I got them, because I know they're definitely not from the same person. They are a mixture. They are coming from a mixture of places. I did print them on, what's this thing called again? Resume paper. And I like the resume paper because it has a feel of like you can really feel the paper fibers in it, so it feels almost textile-ish, and I love that. Because if I could say that I am a certain type of crafter or artist, I would consider myself a mixed media crafter. Because I love to mix things up. As much as I can. That's just, we like to mix everything. And we'll see how it all turns out at the end. Fingers crossed that it'll be good. I am a paper crafter. A mixed media paper crafter. How about that? How about that? Because y'all know, give me napkins, give me paper, give me tissue, and I am the happiest person that there is. Even if I have to use wood or something, I'm still gonna decoupage some paper, some napkin, something. It's very seldom that I do just straight paint for anything. Alright. And do not throw the scraps away, because you can use them, okay? Alright, so, this is the cover. Hello there, Daisy. Welcome in. Hopefully you are having a wonderful day. So this is the cover that I created. You may remember that I used glossy accents and I used little watch hands in here to add dimension to that and give me that glossy feel. We did create this and craft this with the items that she had sent me. I did add some of this very stretchy ribbon that I have, and I also included the key and the little what's this thing called again? Not the gear, because I had that. The safety pin that she sent as well. Okay, so this is my base. This is the base that I have created. Okay, this is the inside. This is pretty much as far as we got. All right, so now we are going to add the rest. Where I've been moving stuff, so y'all remembering where half of my stuff is half the trial in this room right now. So this is the fabric that I have picked to cover the inside. It reminds me of like something that's been oil stained and all of that stuff. Hey there, Miss Lisa. So this is gonna be in my mindset. This is gonna be absolutely perfect for this journal. Okay. So we are going to start getting this part ready. Okay. Put my little old maid thing away. Thank you. I appreciate that. So I am finishing up to put together the journal that was part of our challenge for the journal mystery box event. And it is so funny that I had thought about doing this because this totally, being steampunk, fits my style, and I wanted to finish it with y'all. That Miss Teresa, during her time earlier, finished up her journal that was also from this challenge that I sent her. So that was really cool. Yeah, I hope everybody is doing well. Okay, so let me get this up here. And I'm actually being intentional to leave the frayed part there. So, y'all, I was cutting cantaloupes earlier, and on the very last cantaloupe, I sliced my finger. And then, shortly after that, I was opening mail, and on the very last letter that I opened, I ended up with a paper cut. I was like, what in the world is going on today? So, I was like, this is not going according to plan. Of course, getting cut is never anything that anybody plans, but I definitely was not trying to get cut right before I had to do an event, so I know. Yeah, and I didn't think about the paper cut till just now when I was rubbing my hand on and some of the glue got on the cut and it stung for a little bit. And I was like, ouch, I forgot about that. I was good. I did put a band-aid on that. So, I did good about that part. Okay. Let's get that part glued down. I need you to start to make me a book. What do you mean, what kind of book? Kimberly? And Miss Kimberly, do you mean like you want the book for yourself, or you want me to show how to do a book from start to finish? I am wearing green. It's just I had to put my jacket on because it was getting too cold. But see, look, I do have green on. I made sure to wear my green. I didn't want to get pinched. I was making sure I wore my green. Hey there, Miss Sheila. How are you? Miss Teresa. I was just talking about you. I was talking about how you were finishing up the journal that was from the challenge that we had, and that's what I'm doing. I know, it wasn't the leprechauns. It was me just being clumsy, I guess. I know, I can't blame them being naughty. Make you a dark fairy one? I have actually lots of images for dark fairies. And I do, yep, I always have green on my nails around St. Patty's. Or at least I have for the last, geez, almost 10 years or so. If not longer. You know, obviously St. Patrick's Day is not something that is celebrated in Costa Rica. So that was not something we started or got into until we moved to the States. And then, for the first several years, I actually lived in Savannah, Georgia. And if anybody knows anything, you know that Savannah is known for having a massive St. Patrick's Day celebration. I mean, they're like the second largest in the US. They were trying to be the largest in the US. So, yeah. Well, just message me, Miss Kimberly. Yeah, we all miss Miss Carla. She's always busy. Work keeps her busy. Alright, so now I'm going to just trim off the extra. Only because I didn't measure it. Obviously, if you're smart and you measure it before you put it down, you know, then you don't have to cut afterwards, but it's all good. Thank you, that's what I was thinking. I went scourging through my fabrics and I was like, I need one that's gonna fit. And I was like, this one's gonna be perfect. So we went with this one. And I think it's got that like oil stain vintage look to it. That'll be perfect. And then I was printing off some pages, and as we were waiting for everybody to come on, I was trimming them up. So we'll be using those and adding them in. Let's get this one little edge here because this is going to bother me. Out of the way. And then we're going to come here. Perfect. Haha. So, there it is. Whoop. There it is. There is inside, outside. Of course, you can still do a lot more to the inside, but for now, this is what I want. What I need to figure out now is the order that I want my pages in. So I did print these one-sided with the purpose that I wanted the second side to have blank so that I can put things like pockets and things like that, so I'm not taking away too much from the images themselves. Okay, and so we're just going to try and make sure that I actually fold these things. So there's one, and yes, they're like all different sizes, and that's another thing that I like. I like it to be quirky and wonky. I'm okay with different sizes of pages. I know some people aren't, but for me, I'm fine. Now, don't get me wrong, I've made plenty where they are all uniform. And if I get asked to make something and you tell me you want it all uniform, you're gonna get all uniform. If if I have free liberty, you may get all the same or you may get wonky pages. It all depends. So I think I need to cut that one down a little bit more. So this is actually, Miss Sheila, this is the resume paper that you can still find. And I normally find it still, get it dirt cheap at like the Goodwill or local thrift stores. And I like it because it has a very sturdy weight to it. It's sturdier than your regular paper. And I don't know if you guys can see, it's really has a feel of, what you call this, almost feels like a light fabric in your hands. So I like it a lot because it tends to be very pliable like regular paper, but sturdy like cardstock without it being cardstock. So, aw, thank you, sweetie. You're so kind, Miss Carla. Yes, having wonky pages does add interest. It's the whole reason why we add pockets and we add waterfalls and flips and tucks and all these things. Why? Because we want to have that interest, right? So hopefully that answered the question about the paper type that I like to use. Yes, it's like a linen. Thank you. And I love that. I love that feel of it. I actually had some, it literally was called linen paper that had prints on it. I had found that in something. And I thought that was just the coolest. Now this, okay, she'll work. Let me trim her down just a tad bit. It does draw attention, which is, you know, why I have seen where sometimes, even if all the pages are the same height, I've seen where people make the width of it, okay, different lengths. But I like it all over to be different. So that is another reason why this one is going to be the way it is, since we are talking about my favorite type of journal style. Give me wonky, give me dark, give me weird, and I'm happy. Okay. So as you can see, we have different heights in here, and that is, again, a-okay. Now which page, I think I want this one to be my middle, so that when it opens up, I have the spread. And so then, if that's the middle, then we need to work our way out from the middle. Sometimes you want your pages to tell a story. Sometimes they don't tell a story. Sometimes it's just the way you're putting them in, right? Look at this one with the dragon. I thought that was really cool. So let's see. We have a dragon. We have cats. Y'all know I love me my cats. We'll have the gentleman. We'll have the birds. We'll do her. And then this one I'm actually going to flip this ways. And that's the other thing, you know, do I want them all to be facing inward? You know, maybe you do want it to be the other way. So then you just change your fold. So now that would look like that. And then here I'm fine with it being let's put one of the shorter ones in next. And then the one thing that I do try to do is I try to center my pages so that when I go to sew them in, alright, I don't have issues with that. I don't know, sweetie. Maybe that's why we work so well together, because we both are wonky and weird, you know, and wonky and weird is beautiful. So biggest reason why I'm making sure that they are in the middle is so that when I do go to sew, or attach whatever way it is that I'm going to do that, that I have, that I'm going to be able to include all of the pages. Okay? Hey there, my sweet Susan. How are you, my sweet Sue? Okay. Now, what did I do? So I am going, instead of sewing it in, I'm actually going to tie it in. And there's a few ways you can tie something in. You can tie something in by going around completely. Okay. You could also do it where you have eyelets and you have elastic, okay, or cord or whatever, but you've put the eyelets, but that also means that your paper has to fit in between the eyelets. It cannot be larger than that, because my paper is definitely going to be larger than that, right? Because if I bring my paper in, it's almost right at it. You see, it's almost at the height of my book. So I would either have to compromise the paper and completely chop it off to do the eyelets, or you can come around the whole book and tie it in. You can come around the whole book and tie it in. Okay. Yep, exactly. There's different ways to do it. So then you can tie it in, same concept as the other one that has the eyelet on. You know, you can take the pages out and replace them. Okay? Or you can just do a sew-in. So there's different ways to go about it. It's really going to be up to you. I personally want to sew this signature in, and I want to make a signature that's going to be where you can actually add pages in. So I'm going to grab my binding kit. Oh, well, this is wonderful. Everything fell out. So where's my needle? That's not a needle. The other thing you can also use, if you, depending on what you're binding, you can also use rings. So, you know, there's different styles of binding. It's just, where in earth is my needle? Alright, I am not going to dig anymore because I've already cut myself twice. I am not looking for a third cut today. So I'm just gonna go with the needle I have up here, even though it's not like the best one, but it'll do. Okay. But yeah, always go for the different, you know, once you've done something a few different ways. Look, I'm not digging in there trying to find my needle, because I will probably end up finding it, but not in the way I want to find it. So I've just been having that kind of a day today, and I do not want to take my chances. So nope, it ain't that serious. I'll just use this other one. It'll be fine. Look, I have days where nothing happens to me. You would think things should happen, but they don't. And then I have weird days where if it could go wrong, it's going to go wrong. And evidently, today is one of those days. But that is okay. I'm just going to know my limits and not play with that. Because I am not about to try my luck. You know, we all have to know our limits. Alright, so let us do two, and then we'll come 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Ay, ay, ay. Miss Carla. Come on, sweetie. You gotta take care of yourself. Alright, so if anybody's wondering, this is from We Are Memory Keepers. It is actually pretty darn nice to use. Well, that's good. I'm glad that you were able to finish it. Yeah, I know whenever we're working on something, it's always hard to try and comment. And it's not that we're not there or we don't comment, it's just we're busy. So, hey, and you know me, I'm fine with it. So I'm coming in and I'm pushing it back. That way I can actually see the hole, because if not, I'm not going to see it. I figured you were saying folio. So you're good, my friend. Hole 1, hole 2, hole 3. Okay. Alright. Now we're gonna get, and I am using waxed thread. I'm gonna use this yellow one. Alright, and so we measure 1, 2, 3, Yes, I love using it too. It is awesome. The one thing I've been looking at getting is another awl, because my awl, I don't know, I guess I must have abused it too much or something, because it has decided to come apart on me a time or two, which is not so cool when it ends up, you pull it and the needle is stuck in the book, in the cover, or whatever you're working with, and you're left with the handle in your hand. Not so cool. Not so cool at that point. Alright. So whenever you're doing your, you want to make sure that you have one piece that is way longer than the other. And then always make sure your book's on the make sure that your book is on the side it needs to be, because I don't know about anybody else, but I have sewn it in where I had the wrong, I put it in and then realized it was upside down. Not sure about anybody else, but that has happened to me. Well, I still have my altered book that is all, you know, backwards. See, this is why I don't like this needle, because this needle head is too freaking big. Okay, we got you through. Keep some extra. Now I'm going to come up the top. Again. Yeah, that's why I constantly check myself, because, yeah, definitely not the best thing to have happen. That's for sure. Stupid needle. Okay, and then I'm gonna come, so I don't know if you guys can see, I went up the second from the bottom, went out, came up the top. Now I'm gonna go and I'm gonna skip the middle. I'm gonna go all the way down to the bottom one, okay, second from the bottom, and I'm gonna go out of it. Make sure I find the hole and pray that I can pull it through, and if not, then that's what I grab those for. And if you do use a pair of pliers, please pull away from you. Okay, I'm gonna go down and up. And technically I didn't even need that third hole. Oh, I just noticed a big no-no. I just noticed a big no-no. My wax threads stuck to each other. So up after me is going to be Miss Stephanie from Crafting on a Budget. So make sure that you stick around to see what her journaling style is. Like I said, it's interesting to see what everybody's style is. I always learn a lot. And hate this darn thing. So I'm actually going to leave it as is. And I'm just going to tie it right here. I'm going to do something with the hole though. And I'll show you guys. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to tie. Okay, so make sure that it's all nice and tight. And I have a very loose thread here, which I am not happy with. So, why are you so loose? Maybe it's from where I was pulling earlier. Okay. Okay, so there's my signature sewn in. Is it perfect? No. Does it bother me? Not really. I mean, I might end up trimming this one page that evidently is a little bit off and all wonky, but I'll do that later. So, okay. Doo-doo-doo-doo. We have some pockets. I'm actually going to use this for it, and I'll deal with you later. That's some belly bands. These are two different style pockets. We have a long pocket, and then your normal typical pocket that you would think of. Ooh, that was off. Well, I'm not worried because I have to fold that anyways. Or at least I plan on folding it. How about that? What I do not plan on folding is this. So this does have to be accurate. Alright. And then these are belly bands, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to trim those because I am going to use them. Oh, it's my pleasure. Thank you, Wendy, for hosting the event and for having me. Thank you, Miss Tracy, for modding and you know, sharing us into the group while Miss Wendy is working. I do appreciate that. You're going to retire yours because your page is slid. What page is slid? Are you talking about this the cutter? Is that what you're talking about? So like this one, I want to add that in there. Obviously, we need ink. Yes. No, I like this one because it's dark, so it gives me more contrast. And guys, definitely stay tuned because we are going to be seeing what our friend will be having here soon. Like I said, I'm excited to see what her journal style is. I know Miss Stephanie was a big scrapbooker. She had said that during one of my events one time. I personally never scrapped book, but I love the idea of memory albums because I've essentially I created that especially for my first child. Oh my god, did I go overboard with him. My daughter still gets mad that my oldest has 3 and she doesn't even have 1. So, I'm like, I'm sorry. She loves going back and reading through those things and all of that, so. Oh, and let the pages slide? You talking about your cutter? Or are you talking about your journal? That's where I was confused. I wasn't sure what you were talking about. Thank you, dear. It's my pleasure. I'm always so grateful that I get to join in. I love your events. I love Miss Amy's events. I'm always happy when I can snag a spot whenever possible. Because, you know, schedules can be kind of crazy sometimes. Alright, so this is going to be a belly band. Right here. Yeah, I know I'm gonna have to get a new cutter soon before, because I've replaced the blades and it still be acting up. So what can I tell you? And I'm trying to figure out which one I want to go with though. I'm not sure yet which one I want to purchase. You know, buying a cutter is a very important tool, so it's one of those things you do research on. You don't want to, you really can't buy one willy-nilly. I'm starting to understand why people have a thing to cut and a separate scoring board. And here I thought I was being smart by having it all together. I don't think so. I don't think I was that smart. So, oh, thank you. I appreciate that. Now, remember, I left the edges because I said I was going to fold it anyways. Obviously, you could score, and that would be totally fine. Or you could be a rebel like me and just do this. And pray it works. Yeah, see, I'm thinking of keeping the We Are Memory Keepers, but just for the scoreboard portion of it. not for the cutting part. Because I love that it is when it opens up, it's a 12 by 12. So it's a 12 by 12 scoring, and I'm like, yes, I like that. But I definitely don't want to have to pages in because the string is too loose. Gotcha. But you can tighten the string, sweetie. That's always fixable. I bought a cutter and then I ended up getting a small one too. I need to get a big one. Yes, you do learn from your mistakes. I know that I want a small one for when I'm traveling, because yeah, it makes it so much easier. So I definitely want something small for when I do travel. But I want the large one for when I'm at home, for obvious reasons. Well, hello there, Miss Deb. Thank you so much for coming in. You are a-okay. Thank you for the sprinkles, my friend. Today we, in the event that I am in, we were doing our favorite journaling style. And as my friends know, if you give me steampunk or you give me something dark themed, I am happy. And dark but not gory, okay? I don't do the gory, bloody stuff. That's not me. But I do like, and I actually am hosting a raid train. Well, I'm co-hosting a raid train, and the lady just got back with me about it. It is called the Forbidden Forest. So all things dark forest related. That's going to be a fun event. So I got to start gathering stuff for that one. That's going to be on Whatnot. If you guys want to follow me over there, it'll be on April 17th. I'll actually be posting my show after I get off. From here. Because we literally just confirmed it. Not before I was coming on. And some of you may know, last year I was invited to what's called the Battle of the Junk Journals over on Whatnot. And I got invited back this year. So the wheels are turning on what type of journal I'm going to do this go around. So I'm excited for that. I didn't do too shabby last go around with my dark romance one, so we shall see. Where'd the other one go to? I need the other tall page for this one though. So as you guys can see, here's my journal. And it's gonna open up. Like I said, I'm gonna put here to where you can slide things in. And then you'll have the fixed journal. And all of these blank pages will be filled with pockets and stuff of that nature. Oh, the cute kitty cat. Hot air balloon. Dragon. See, here's a pocket. We've got her. All the machines. The hot air balloon. This will be for more pockets. We got a bird and a cat. We've got the gentleman looking so smart right there. And we have a fairy. And then, of course, a kitty cat. So, all that. And she ties together so that she can hold everything together. I think it's cute. And then over here, like I said, it's easy to make like a dangle of some sort or something of that nature, which I'll probably will do with some more gears and things. But let's go see Miss Stephanie. Thank you for hanging out with me for an hour. I really do appreciate it. I hope you guys like the idea. I hope you will try maybe something like this. Doesn't have to be exactly the same, but give it a try. Journaling is fun, and making them is, you know, to me is even more fun. So I don't really write in them, but it is fun. So thank you so much. Have a wonderful evening. Let's go over to see Miss Stephanie. You can see her at Dusty Granny event groups, and there you can also catch our later presenters as well. I love you guys, and I will see you next time. Ciao.